Hello, I am Austin Taylor. In this video, I will be demonstrating the use of basic UNIX commands in the Windows PowerShell terminal via the use of UMass Dartmouth Virtual Private Network to log into the UMass Dartmouth Kearney Computer Cluster. Within this video, I will first show you how to turn on the UMass Dartmouth Virtual Private Network. I will then show you how to log into the UMass Dartmouth Kearney Computer Cluster, and then I will demonstrate basic UNIX commands within the Windows PowerShell terminal. To use the UMass D Virtual Private Network, abbreviated VPN, you must download the client software for your computer. Visit this link and download the Checkpoint Endpoint Security VPN for your operating system, and click this link for instructions and follow the procedure as instructed. To turn on the UMass Dartmouth Virtual Private Network VPN, you hover over this padlock icon that says Checkpoint Endpoint Security. Right-click on it and press Connect. It'll prompt you to put your password in. My username is already defaulted, and I will put my password in. Click Enter. You hear a notification that says it has connected shortly, and it has connected. To turn off the VPN, you can simply hover over the icon, right-click again, and press Disconnect. To log on to the UMass Dartmouth Kearney Computer Cluster, you need to make first sure that the Checkpoint Endpoint Security VPN is connected. And in this case, I have already connected to it. And it says if you hover above it that it's connected. And you also can tell by the green logo here on the padlock. So now I will open up my Windows PowerShell terminal. I will type SSH and then my student login, which is student17 at kearney.cscvr.umassd.edu. Double check that it's spelled correctly. Click enter when you have confirmed. Now I'm going to type my password. And click enter. And I have successfully connected to the UMass Dartmouth Kearney Computing Cluster. I will now demonstrate the use of these basic UNIX commands via the use of the Windows PowerShell terminal. Since I am already logged in to the UMass D VPN and I've already logged into the Kearney Computing Cluster, I can begin Tutorial 1, listing files and directories. First, we'll use the ls command, which is short for list. Since I have no files in my home directory, we see nothing. However, ls does not list all your files in your home directory. Thus, to see hidden files, you must type ls space -a. If you don't know all the options and descriptions for a particular command, you will then need to use the man command. Man is short for manual, and then you put a space after man and type the command you want to find more information about, in this case ls, and click enter. This will prompt this menu. You can scroll up and down the menu with your arrow keys on your keyboard, and to leave the menu, press Q on your keyboard. To clear your screen, simply type clear. For Tutorial 2, making directories, first I will use the ls command to list the files and directories in my home directory. Since I have no files or directories, I will now make a directory. To make a directory, type mkdir space and then the name of the directory you want to create. I will use UNIX tutorial. Press enter. Now we can use the ls command again to list files and directories. in my home directory. And now we see the directory UNIX tutorial that I just made. For tutorial 3, changing directories, I will use the cd command to change from the current working directory to the directory I made called UNIX tutorial. I will type cd space UNIX tutorial and click enter on my keyboard. Now you see student 17 at master space UNIX tutorial. This indicates the directory I am in. If I want to now make a directory called backups within the UNIX tutorial directory, I'll then type mkdir space backups and click enter. For tutorial 4, I will demonstrate what directories dot and dot dot mean. First, I'll change the directory to the UNIX tutorial directory I made previously. Click enter. Now, I will list all the files and directories in my current working directory via typing ls space -a. If I type the command cd space dot, it tells me I'm still in the UNIX tutorial directory, and I can now type ls to list the files and directories. Now, this isn't very useful at the moment, but it saves a lot of typing. If I type cd space dot dot, it brings me to the parent directory. As you can see, it changed. And I can type the command ls, which lists the files and directories. Now, if I type cd without any options, it'll bring me to the home directory. For tutorial 5, I will demonstrate how to use the pwd command to determine the path name of where you are in relation to the whole file system. The most simple explanation is type the command pwd and click enter. It tells me I am in the home directory. Now, if I change directories to UNIX tutorial that I made previously, and type ls to list the files and directories, I can again change directory to backups, type enter, and type ls to list the files and directories. And now, if I want to use pwd again, click enter, it'll list the entire path name for where I am. Now if I want to go back to home, I'll simply type cd, click enter, and now I can type clear to clear my terminal. For tutorial 6, I will demonstrate how to use wget to download files from URL addresses. I will type the command wget space and paste the link I wish to download and click enter. Now I can type ls to see the files and directories in my home directory, and you see UNIX tutorial and directory that I made previously and the science.txt file that I just downloaded. For tutorial 7, I will demonstrate how to use the cp command to copy files, whereas I will use the cp command to copy science.txt to the UNIX tutorial directory. I will now click enter, and then I will change directory and now I will use the ls command to list the files and directories. And now you see I have copied science.txt file from my home directory to the UNIX tutorial directory. For tutorial 8, I will demonstrate how to use the mv command to move science.txt to the backups directory. So, first I'll type ls, and I already have copied science.txt to the UNIX tutorial, so I'm going to go change my directory to UNIX tutorial and type ls again. Alright, so now I'll use mv and type science.txt, and I want to move it to backups. I'm going to click enter. I'm going to change my directory to backups. Press ls again, and now you see science.txt is in backups. For tutorial 9, I will demonstrate how to use the rm command to remove science.txt from the backups directory. Since I am already in the backups directory, I can type rm and science.txt. And to verify that it is no longer inside the backups directory, I'll type ls and press enter. And there is not a science.txt file there, so we have successfully removed that file. For tutorial 10, I'll demonstrate how to use the rmdir command to remove directories. In this case, we will be removing backups directory. So I need to go back to my parent directory, and now I can type in rm. Well, first I'll list the files and directories within UNIX tutorial. And since we moved the science.txt file to the backups file, and then we deleted that text file from the backups, now we just have backups directory within the UNIX tutorial directory. So now I can type rmdir and type the directory I want to remove. Press enter. And now I can type ls to confirm that we removed backups directory, and we have successfully removed the backups directory. You have to be very careful with both the rm and rmdir commands and not remove any undesired files or directories. This concludes the presentation on basic UNIX commands demonstrated within the UMass.net Carney computing cluster via the use of the Windows PowerShell terminal and UMass.net's virtual private network. And these were the commands demonstrated within this presentation.